Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I am going to give my thoughts on the Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2 match that happened yesterday. First of all, that's probably the most frustrating result and match of the season so far. For about 75, 76 minutes, I'd say Chelsea were phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, dominated, completely had control of it. And then a moment of madness, followed by the next 20 minutes, including added time, and they just threw it all away. So let's just start from the beginning. The first half, outstanding. When the team lineup came out, I was really looking forward to it. I was really looking forward to seeing if we can continue that momentum that we built up before the international break into the rest of the season. Because obviously, there's always a danger when you have momentum going into that international break that little week or two period could just stunt that momentum, and all of a sudden you come back and you're just not quite playing at the same level as you were. However, that first half, we were playing incredibly well. Chelsea dominated that first half. Our midfield three of Enzo, Caicedo, and Gallagher is a perfect blend, and they really do complement each other. And all three of them had complete control of that first half. We completely just showed the level we can produce. And if we continue this level, I'm looking forward to seeing what we do for the rest of the season. So anyway, obviously we get the first goal, which is a penalty, which ironically enough, the whole move starts with a pass out from the back by Sanchez, gets up the pitch, ball into the box, header from Mudryk, clear penalty. It's a clear penalty. I called it in real time. That was a clear penalty. I get that he's jumping, but his arm still blocks the ball when it's going on target. That's a penalty. And then obviously Cole Palmer steps up to take it. There was a little discussion from what I hear between him and Sterling. However, it was great to see that Enzo was really showing captain material there by stepping in and just choosing Palmer to take it. And Palmer steps up, sends the keeper the wrong way. Great penalty. I'm loving how confident he is in himself at the moment. And it's great to see. And he is, I will never understand how or why City not just let him go, but let us buy him. Because he's been brilliant over the last few games, running most of these matches. And yesterday's was no different. Because after he did that, a few minutes later, I don't know how, great little run from Gallagher, pass to Palmer, and Palmer very unlucky that he just missed the target. Could easily have been 2-0. But anyway, throughout that first half, Chelsea were perfect in all their positions. They were aggressive. They didn't let Arsenal breathe. Anytime Arsenal tried to build up momentum for an attack, Chelsea player just stopped them in their tracks. I think Arsenal had 2 shots on goal in the first half, and none were on target. We completely bossed it, and there was nothing negative about that. Maybe you could say we could probably have scored 1 or 2 more, but you take a 1-0 lead going in at half time. And then when the second half was about to start, I kept thinking, okay, the next goal is huge. If Chelsea can just get the next goal early maybe, and just kind of stop any sort of belief Arsenal players have, then maybe we could just end with a comfortable result. And obviously, first few minutes of the second half, Chelsea go 2-0 up with, goal of the year, maybe goal of the season contender already. That goal from Mudryk was outstanding. I still feel that is already goal of the season contender because it was just perfect. It completely tricked Raya, who was awful in that match, and just caught him off guard. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, it was a cross. I don't care. I don't care if it was a cross or he meant it. Either way, brilliant finish, and he deserved it. Mudryk was phenomenal. It wasn't just his offensive work that he was so good with. It was his defensive work as well. That was just perfect. And one thing that was really going on throughout the match, which I really liked, was the fact that Arsenal's defence could not handle the front three of Sterling, Palmer and Mudryk. They couldn't handle the fact that all three of them kept interchanging with each other. And it was clear when Arsenal played against City a few weeks ago that Saliba and Gabriel, they prefer having just a striker like Haaland just standing around the box who they can constantly keep their eye on and just constantly mark, because they could not handle the fact that our front three kept moving away from it, moving all around the pitch. They didn't know who to follow, so it kept opening gaps up, and that was a great bit of tactical work from Poch. It was a brilliant result. Again, throughout probably the rest of the next 15, 20 minutes, Chelsea probably should have gone 3 or 4-0 up. We had the chances to. But again, I mean, Arsenal couldn't do anything. We got to minute 70 and they still hadn't had a shot on target. It got to a point where you thought maybe Chelsea weren't going to score another goal. But at the same time, you didn't really think that Arsenal were going to do anything. You just thought, okay, Chelsea are just going to coast now to maybe a 2-0 comfortable win. And for me, the only way Arsenal were ever going to get back into this match wasn't through one of their own players, but it would have been through one of the Chelsea players just having a shocker. The last few times that Arsenal have come to Stamford Bridge, Chelsea players, for some reason, have always just gifted Arsenal such a stupid goal. And it happened again yesterday. Completely in control. Arsenal had no shots on target for like 75, 76 minutes. And then just a really, really poor pass from Sanchez. And obviously he was slightly wide of his goal as it was. Passes it straight to Declan Rice. And then it was a great finish. It was a great finish by Rice, I have to admit. I mean, you see it a lot, especially now in this sort of sweeper keeper age, where the kind of keepers will do a bad pass it out to one of the opposition, but then the opposition just don't take advantage. And I was really hoping that was going to happen. But no, I mean, the goal from Rice, who wasn't very good in the match, but that was an outstanding finish. I mean, that was an absolutely outstanding finish. I mean, and then the match completely turned on its head. Momentum completely shift. Arsenal went from looking like they've kind of given up in the match, and Chelsea were kind of coasting, to all of a sudden they had complete belief. The Chelsea players who were playing phenomenally throughout the match all of a sudden clearly became very nervous. There was a lot of nervous energy. Mistakes started creeping in. Players were clearly quite scared. Again, this is what happens when you have a young squad, that if one or two things go wrong, their confidence can just go like that. And it just, last 20 minutes, including added time, last 15 minutes, and there was also added time in that match, it was a horror show from Chelsea. It was mistake after mistake. Arsenal had complete control. And one thing I will say is Saka and Martinelli obviously have been kept quiet the entire match through brilliant work from Cucurella and Gusto. But right near the end, Saka just great little cross in. I don't know how he was allowed to do that, but great crossing, goes past everyone, and Gusto just completely just falls asleep and forgets Trossard is behind him, and Trossard comes round and just scores. I still feel Sanchez maybe could have saved it, but it was a moment of madness from Sanchez that just completely turned this game on its head. And the thing is, I've been really, really complimentary to Sanchez, as over the last few matches I feel he's been outstanding. Even when we weren't really doing that well, he's always kept us in the matches. So he has been really, really good. And I still feel he's been a great, great signing this season, like over the summer. However, it just, with his feet, he was shocking. He was awful yesterday. I mean, I really do hope that they just sit down and watch, like Pochettino gets into watch his performance, just so they can kind of go over it and just not let this happen again. Because again, he has been outstanding this season. But yesterday was just a frustrating result, and Chelsea missed the chance to really make a statement and win. However, if we do continue playing as well as we did for the first 77 minutes yesterday, I feel this season we can still do something. We're still in for the running for a European place. Obviously, we're not as close as we could have been. But, I mean, I'm not really worried about the next few fixtures anymore, as I could have been, as I do believe that this squad and this manager are more than capable of getting some big wins. So our next match is against Brentford. Big match, another London derby. And if we play the same way we played for the first 77 minutes before the mistake, we should be able to win that game. And then we can carry on with that momentum, because obviously we've next, like Blackburn, then Tottenham, City, Newcastle, Brighton. So we've got a really difficult fixture list. But I still feel, now after the last few results, and especially yesterday, I still feel we have every chance of getting maybe a Europa League spot, or maybe sneaking in 5th. But anyway, so yeah, again, guys, my next video is going to be on Thursday, obviously for my new series, which I'll be doing, which again is going to be me reacting to football players and tennis players who I've always loved watching, again, either past or present. And the first player I'm going to be starting with is Eden Hazard. So I'm going to be releasing that video on Thursday between 7 and 8 p.m. And I'll see you then. Oh, and don't forget, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all on Thursday.